It all started on the 12th of February 2010 when my preschool teacher said I was dumb. And it sounds like a little statement, but she didn't know how much that affected me because that mindset was already ingrained in me. And getting into primary school, another student walked up to me and told me I had a big forehead. I know big forehead is something people admire these days, but it messed my head up those days. And let's not even get to secondary school, where I was insulted because of my head size, because of how slim I was, my nose shape, my everything. What you expect a child like me to do, if not hate on myself? I saw myself as less of the standard. I couldn't raise my hands in some kind of settings. I felt inferior. I felt less than the other kind of girls in my class. And it's the worst kind of feeling. Oh my God. I remember having to change my hairstyle because certain hairstyles would bring out my head shape and would even aggravate the insult. I remember this particular time when all the old boys, those boys, they were running around me and they were calling me this name, Ishi Ebuka. And it translates to big head. And it's the worst, it's the worst experience. My childhood was so traumatizing, although I had some good people too in my life. And I finally found love after 11 years of traumatizing insults and friends, not friends, they're not my friends, and people that made my life hell and bullies. I've heard of stories of people that killed themselves because of bullying. God, thank you for my life, thank God. And it all began when I started going on YouTube and watching captivating people, who knew the subject on love, on self-love, on self-worth, on validation. And one of those persons I really want to acknowledge is Tamkor. I watched her and I love her. On Instagram is Mercy the Influencer. She's more of like a digital coach girly, but she makes sense. And these women, although there are still other women, they helped a lot in changing my perception on who I am and, just helping me in my healing phase because, guy. So I finally found love in myself when I realized this one thing. I realized that loving yourself is basically not about seeking validations from other people. It's about embracing who you really are, because all this while I've always been influenced by what everybody saw as the beauty standard, what everybody saw as the norm or the culture. I didn't really look at myself and the values I hold in myself to know what was actually right for me as opposed to what every other person thinks. So that really laid the foundation. And I got to learn this from these people that influenced me in great ways. And the best part about this? A lot has changed about me. The way I perceive myself, my head shape, my nose shape, however it is, it doesn't affect me no longer. I feel confident in myself. I can carry myself into any room. Suppose I have the sense to talk in that room. I'm in love with my personality, although there's also room for self-development. And I am no longer trying to be like every other person, but embrace who I really am. And I'm so glad I did this because you can feel the confidence. So to wrap up this video, I know you might have clicked on this video because you feel like the love in yourself is not there, or you feel like you're being influenced by things you shouldn't be influenced, or you feel like you've been bullied all your life, or you just feel like, oh my God, you don't like who you are. This is how you're going to love yourself. This is how you're going to love yourself again, because loving yourself is going to boost your confidence. These are the things I did. Firstly, I started listening to people, intentional people on social media, people whose thoughts pattern, they challenge thinkings. I'm speaking of people like Tamkor, Mercy the Influencer, Eric Guagua, Solomon Bucci. I can't remember the other name, but there are a lot of people I want being shown in my feed because they are going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm learning something, yo. Secondly, I had some deep intentional thoughts about this whole thing because after I learned, I think about it, connect the dots to my childhood and be like, Most importantly, I got clear on my values, on what I actually want for myself, what I actually want, to put out, to embrace, to show forth to the world, because not everything is valuable to me. Yeah. And although I'm no longer being bullied as I'm older, being bullied is more of like a childhood something, but disrespect still comes at some times or some place. I've learned how to handle this disrespect, and it all came from finally loving myself after 11 years. So that is it. I just came on here to yap and share the story that I know benefited you. So don't forget to click that subscribe button, and you can also check out my other social media handles in the description, because I am a talker, baby. I talk sense. Yeah, so bye.